Hi, this is CJ Alejandro, the chair of, and this is the North Tabor Neighborhood Association. It's Tuesday, May 17th. And I figured we start with some introductions. It looks like we have at least one new face. I'm not sure. I see a Catherine Henderson. I'm not sure if we met before. I can't hear you.
Do you want to unmute?
Oh, there, I can see the hand going for it. There you go.
Yeah. This is Catherine Henderson and my husband, Dave Henderson.
Okay.
Why are we here?
Hi, we just bought a house on Davis Street.
Oh, wonderful. I'll say welcome to Catherine and Dave on Davis Street. Like, how recently did you get it?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow we get the keys.
Oh, wow. Well, welcome. Yeah, we'll do we're only 9 people, so we'll do a quick round of introductions. My name's CJ, I'm the chair. I rent over on 60th and Burnside, just north of Burnside.
Oh, okay.
Us into North Tabor, just barely. Robert?
Yeah, I'm Robert Jordan. I live at the corner of 57th and Everett. Where on Davis are you? What block?
Just off 61st.
What's
Oh,
our
okay.
We're at 6011 Northeast Davis Street.
Okay.
Big Victorian house.
The old
there.
Victorian.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Cool.
We're very Victorian.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, so I've lived in the neighborhood for almost, 19 years, I guess. I've been involved off and on with the neighborhood association for most of that time. And a board member.
Nice. How about, I'll just go down my screen. How about Lisa?
Hi, Lisa Maddox, and I have lived in Portland all my life. I have lived at 48th and Burnside for 40 years, and before that, I grew up on 57th and Hancock. So haven't gone far. Anyway, I am also on the Land Use and Transportation Committee, so I represent North Tabor Neighborhood Association for that.
Yay.
Well, very happy to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, how about Kim?
Hi, I'm Kim Bandy. I'm not one of the board members, but I am a liaison for the Southeast Uplift organization, which is just a larger entity that kind of oversees and supports. It's a 501c3 that oversees and supports all of the Southeast neighborhood associations. So that's a separate organization that has a bunch of subcommittees that are really do wonderful things, which some of the members in our neighborhood association are part of those committees. So we can speak more to that if that is of interest to you at all. But I have lived in the neighborhood for about 1.5 years now, so relatively new as well. And that's about it.
That's great. Suzanne.
I'm muted. Hi, I'm Suzanne Gardner. We live on 62nd and Oregon, and we've lived here for 35 years. And I've been on the North Tabor Neighborhood Association for, I think, like maybe 5 years, something like that. Yeah, welcome to the neighborhood.
Great. Patty.
Patty, I'm Patty LeCalf, and I live on 56th and Northeast Flanders. And yeah, I've been in the neighborhood almost 50 years. Yep.
Stephanie.
Well, I'm a relative newcomer. These old timers, they give our board real strength and a lot of stories. Anyway, I live on Cooch Street, and I invite everybody to come and see the wisteria. Please take a walk between 53rd and 55th. They're at their total peak. They're the very best ever this year, and they're really long. So,
Wow, that's awesome.
So I've been on the board for a little while, and I just want to say that we're one of the smaller neighborhood associations. That's why you see 9 little boxes here. Some are much bigger, and they're bigger neighborhoods, and et cetera. But we have great spirit, and people are always welcome. And some weeks some months have more of a program than others, but we're really glad that you showed up, and there are great walks in your neighborhood just awaiting you. And I've walked by probably your house many times.
Stephanie, what street did you say for the Wisteria?
On Cooch, which
Right.
is right next to between Burnside and Davis,
And
and
which numbers?
between 53rd and 55th. So it's just 2 blocks from the QFC. But really, this is their absolute moment this week. After all the rain, finally, and they're humming with bees. They're really at their best.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, we'll take a little trip and do that. And then Ross might be driving. I'm not sure. Ross, if you're not driving, feel free to say hi. If you are, just ignore us and keep listening. I'll give you a second. Oh, there's something. I see you're not, I can't hear you, but I see you're not on mute anymore.
Yeah, he may be in a bad spot, but
Yeah,
do
Ross,
you want to introduce kind of his?
yes. Let's see. Ross. I'm not sure how long anybody's been in the neighborhood.
Oh,
I don't have.
Ross is a new board member,
There we
though,
go.
which is super
Yeah.
exciting.
There we
Oh,
go. There we
we
go.
hear it.
Ross, I can hear you now.
Did that work?
yep.
There
Sorry,
you go.
I'm driving right now, but hands free. So I'm Ross, near 60th and Davis as well on the other side. Been in the neighborhood for about 3 years and been the vice chair for I guess 4 or 5 months. So welcome
It's okay.
to the
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Welcome. Yes, stay safe. Thank you for being hands-free with us. Yeah, so welcome. Yeah, like it was mentioned earlier, yeah, today is more of a less presentation heavy day. We kind of got caught up in elections fever, and we had a lot of people come and speak over the last 2 months. And now it is election day. I put that as first thing on the agenda. If you haven't voted yet, for some reason, you still have about an hour and 15 minutes to get your ballots dropped off. But I'm hoping that everyone here who's very, involved in the community has probably already done it. And I don't see Kim. Hopefully Kim is, our other Kim is hopefully relaxing right now and just waiting for the numbers to start coming in. Because she was running for what, a commissioner position?
Commissioner, position 3, I think, against Hardesty, I guess that's.
Gonna be a hard
Sitting.
race. We're all like,
Yeah. There's a lot of really good people. I don't know if you guys, any of you watch the debates or the, talks or whatever, but a lot of really good people. So it was kind of hard, but yeah, she did really well. She did really well. So
yeah, especially as far as I know, first time running.
yeah. So
Very
good.
good. Well, we'll probably have some time. We could probably chat more about that in a bit, but for now, first thing on the agenda is approval of last month's minutes. And I put the link in the agenda I sent out. I'll put it in the chat also, just in case. One moment. Where's that chat at? There it is.
CJ, how many board members do we have? I was just saying if we have a quorum, so I can put it in the notes.
One.
I mean,
two. How many is a quorum for us? 7?
yeah, it needs to be over 50%. Doesn't mean we can't have the meeting. It's just we wouldn't vote on things. But I can't remember. Does anybody remember? I don't have my notes with me. How many total board members we have?
Well, let's see. It's hard for me I need to write all these things down because it's hard for me just to remember who is a step down and who just joins as a non-board member these days. But at least, it seems like at least 6 of us, right?
I think we have a quorum for sure. I can't remember if there's
Yeah.
11 or
I think we have 9.
We have 5 board members on right now. Oh, wait, no,
Okay.
6. I
No.
forgot myself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I think we have 6.
5, 6, and yeah, well, Ross, 1, 2, 3,
Mhm.
4, 5, 6, 7 of us.
Okay. Then yeah, I think we're voting okay.
Okay.
Thanks for checking because that protocol stuff can't keep as track of as well. Let me take a quick look at the minutes. Let's see here.
Get everything for him.
Yeah, I don't see anything egregious in the April minutes. So I'll give people a chance.
I'll move that we accept the April minutes.
All right, we've got a motion to accept April minutes. Do we have a second? I see a second from Patty. And then yes, I will push it to then a vote. All who approve, vote yes on the approving the minutes, say yes, or raise your hand, or aye. I see a lot of, okay, hand raised, yeses. Anyone voting no, indicate that, say it. Anyone abstaining, raise your hand, let us know.
I wasn't there, so I can't really vote on the veracity of the meeting.
Got you. Abstain from Stephanie and Ross. I saw you unmute.
Abstain.
Abstain, 2 abstains, mostly approves. I think that is a yes. The April minutes are approved. Great job. What's next on our agenda?
CJ, can I just say,
Please.
very fancy schmancy your agenda is with the letterhead and all. It's
Oh,
very nice. Yes, very nice.
well, I took a look at the, we mentioned Southeast Uplift, which is the, Kim mentioned it, it oversees us, even though we're not in Southeast technically, we're very close. We, for some reason, Robert probably knows better than me, have kind of like, are part of the Southeast Uplift umbrella rather than our other, like, I don't know, what is like Laurelhurst? They're with somebody else? They're part of like another umbrella organization?
I think
No, they're also in Southeast Uplift.
They're in
Really?
Southeast Uplift. They use the freeway as the more substantial divising line between north and south. So everything south of the freeway is in Southeast.
Okay.
It's worth looking at the map on the Southeast Uplift page, and you can see Southeast Uplift is one of the largest and most well-established, and has its own staff and building and budget. It's really seen as from Portland City Hall as one of the most well established, even though it's had its ups and downs, as I've reported on earlier.
Oh, yes.
But I think it's in pretty good shape right now.
We
Yeah, I
actually
think-
do have a little bit of our neighborhood that is in Southeast, but of course, Laurelhurst and Monteville are both in both Northeast and Southeast. So we're all south of the freeway. You're in Southeast Uplift.
Yeah, I'll do a quick, here, let me, I have the power to share this screen. Yeah, we are there. Make it bigger. This is our little, so yeah, we're up in North Tabor. Oh yeah, we've got a pretty good chunk of the Southeast zones. Yeah. Okay, I'll stop sharing. But I was saying that, yes, I looked at the Southeast Uplift's example agenda, and I noticed that it was a lot fancier than the one that we previously had. So I thought I'd put a little header on it just to gussy it up a little bit. That being said, the next part on it is the committee reports, which begins with the treasurer's update with Patty.
So we have a balance of, Suzanne, 2388.43.
And is that any change from last month?
Yes, I do believe so, because Jules has spent some money, so, which I'll tell you about when I read her report.
Thank you.
Suzanne, are you still there? She must be.
Whoops, sorry. I was just muted. Yes, I was typing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Good
I
enough.
have 2388.43, and that there have been some marketing expenditures.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, the treasurer's update has been a little, for Catherine and Dave, it's been a little bit smaller because our money hasn't been like coming in, going out in very drastic ways over the last pandemic, really. But typically on a typical year, I think there's been a little bit more like money towards events, money from fundraising or from efforts. We did get a grant somewhat recently, right? For a couple $100.
We
Right,
we got one in December, which we will be using to spend for our communications, which
Cool.
is a lot of the things Jules is spending.
Cool. Well, yeah, we'll talk about those in a moment. Then for now, Lisa, I saw you put some links in there. Did you want to talk about was this the first land use meeting that they've had in a while, or did they resume them last month?
Yeah, no, I know I missed a couple, but it was when Leah left, there weren't any meetings for 3 or 4 months, I think. I mean, and in kind of in between the transition of, and now Nancy, I can't remember her last name, has taken over Leah's position. And then last month, the person that was going to preside over it or whatever was called in sick. So it was kind of a last minute cancellation. So we didn't have the meeting last month, and then which was going to be an in-person meeting. So then this month, and as I was telling Kim, we just got a notice yesterday that it was going to be a Zoom meeting. So I was able to attend because I'm kind of far, I'm out house cat sitting kind of further away from my neighborhood. And so it was kind of a drive, and I was like, didn't really feel like going. So I was really happy that it was on Zoom. So this is the 2 links that I put in there. So the announcement, the one announcement is there is a South Tabor neighborhood yard sale happening on June 4th. So check that link out. Not exactly sure. It was a very quick announcement, so I don't really know how many people are involved or how many neighborhoods are involved in that. But and then the project that was presented by Marty Stockton was this lower southeast rising area plan, and there's an online open house. I think they're kind of looking for input. It more has to do with the 52nd and 72nd kind of corridor over in Woodstock area. So, and Darlington, Brentwood. So it's kind of, it's not really part of our neighborhood, but definitely worth looking into. They have kind of 4 plans that they're looking at as to what they want to do. So definitely worth looking at and kind of seeing. I'm a little concerned because it is a lower income area that they want to commercialize it a little bit more, which I am afraid is going to, I mean, it's going to raise the property values, going to raise the property taxes, going to raise for people that are already, hurting. So anyway, it's just, it's worth a look at.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It sounds like that. I was taking a quick look at the link for the yard sale. It looks like they're going to have a yard sale and then garden tours kind of all over the South Tabor neighborhood. It looks like people are able to register their own like gardens and their own potential yard sales that day. So there might be a lot of places to check out.
I think it looks really cool. He didn't elaborate a whole lot on it. So, and I really haven't had time to look at it. So that's good to know. Yeah. I love those. When you can go in people's beautiful gardens, that's just awesome.
Yeah, that'd be
So,
great.
Yeah. Good.
Anything else from land use? All right.
Like I said, there was only like 9 people there. So it actually, the meeting ended about a half an hour early. So that was, yeah. It was,
Got you. Well,
I was kind of sad about it, actually.
Well, next month, right?
Absolutely. Because when we were in person, there was at least 40 or 50 people there. So
Oh, wow.
hopefully they get the word out on Zoom.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Then next, Patty, were you saying you were going to handle the communications?
From Jules, you mean?
Yeah, the communications update. Since the Jewel events are out.
Yeah, I was just trying to find something about that Bliss Garden. Okay, so she's been doing an outstanding job. She has spent to date $199, so that's not a whole lot of money. Some money for Facebook, MailChimp, and she says that she feels like we're starting to finally get a little groundswell from the newsletters and posts. The boosts are starting to work. Our Facebook page reaches up 29.2%. So posts have reached over 2,600 people in the last 28 days versus like 4 reached the previous 28 days. Our Facebook engagement is up 3,550%. Yes, really, she says. So 124 people have engaged with our posts, i.e. clicked on them in the last 28 days versus the handful that engaged from the previous 28. Our newsletter list is growing and we've gained over 50 signups in the last month. So that's good. She wanted me to make sure to bring to everybody's awareness about the Bliss Garden event coming up on the 27th. Let's see. Yeah, the 27th from 3 to 6 p.m. And that's down at the old church that we used to have our meetings at on Cooch and, let's see, let me open it up and look. Cooch and, 4837 Northeast Cooch. So that's where we used to have our meetings. So she said she thought it'd be kind of nice if we could show up as a support for that.
What is the Bliss Garden?
It's a garden that was put together by the folk time people that are in the church that participate in their outreach program. And Robert might know a little bit more about this whole thing, but it's a group of people that meet there. I don't know if it's once a week or several times a week.
Patty, are you talking about the kind of garden thing they put in the parking lot? That they created in the parking lot, part of the parking lot of the church?
I don't think so. I think it is, well, it could be. Yeah, it could be. There's the other one out in the back, the one that Zach kind of started going. I think that's,
okay.
I think that's the preschool kids. So maybe it is the one from the parking lot. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I know
They just have been doing a lot of cleaning up. I see it from my apartment, from my bedroom window. So it was kind of getting overgrown because it had kind of been, I mean, well, with everything going on. So there was a few people out there kind of making pathways and doing some stuff the other day. So I was kind of hoping that's what it was. It's very cool. It's very cool what they've done.
Robert, do you know much about the folk life program?
Candace is here. She can probably pipe up. You know about folk time? Can you just say a few words?
It's a program for people with disabilities. I think more along learning disabilities, but I'm not quite sure. I know that some members or some people attend both Folk Time and North Star Clubhouse, and I'm more involved with North Star Clubhouse. Yeah, and I don't know what they've been doing during the COVID period, but it used to be open several days a week, and they would have meals there, food pickup and various activities. So that's all I know.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's what it looks like. That's at the Community Church of Christ. Is that the one? Something.
Yeah. And it's to kind of get to know the people, and it's from 3 to 6 in the evening, and they're going to have seed exchange, selling of edible food starts, gardening to ease food insecurity, and then learn more about the folk time peer support and mental health resources. So on our webpage, there's all kinds of information. You can click and open it up and read more about it.
Great.
Anyways, she thought she'd like to encourage us all to show up and be supportive as a neighborhood association.
Mhm.
They've
And that
been
looks
very-
like,
They've been very good to us, that church has.
and that's a Friday? Is that the 27th?
Yes, Friday, the 27th, 3 to 6. Yeah,
Could be
Hey,
able to
can
do
you
that.
send me a copy of her notes so that I can include those in the minutes?
okay.
Okay, thanks.
Will do.
That'd be great. That's great news about all the exponential growth. I'm
Yeah.
not really sure how many people, how many folks live in North Tabor, like the population. I'm sure it's recorded somewhere. It can't be more than, I don't know how many thousand.
I don't know, Candace might have a little bit of an idea because of the, well, she'd know the household, but maybe not the population because of the newsletters we used to put out.
I think there were maybe close to 3,000 households, so maybe 5,000 people. I don't know how many people per household, you know. So-
Right, and then of course, now we have all the new apartments across this Gleason Street, which I don't think we've really garnered any people from there yet, so. Anyway,
Yeah, true. All right. Thank you, Patty. Any other communication update stuff? No. Okay.
that's all I have. I muted myself, sorry.
Perfect. Oh, thank you. And
Hey, I would just add, any chance anybody gets to give Jules compliments and thank her, because we almost lost her when she got a full-time job. She'd volunteered to do this so graciously, and now we're really seeing it pay off because she knows what she's doing. She
Mhm.
really is good at this. So let's just keep her happy.
yes, gift baskets and it's at the very least, all our gratitude for Jules's volunteering.
And I think supporting her would say a lot too, you know, any kind of information you can shoot her way that she can put into these newsletters or, you know, email blurbs that she's sending out.
Absolutely. We'll circle back to that. The last committee report would be, well, Kim just walked out for a moment, but it'll be the Southeast Uplift. Oh, there you are. Hi, Kim. Southeast Uplift, the board meeting.
Yeah.
How'd it
Good. Unfortunately, a lot of the time for this last board meeting was given to some mediation efforts that are going on with the organization. So I'll focus on some of the things that I think would be valuable based on kind of their Hey Neighbor presentation or email that they send out, which I do think recapped some of the highlights from this last month. So I actually have a question, 2 points, and then 2 events to speak to for this session. The first comment is that, or I guess it's part question comment, when do we hold our elections for our neighborhood association?
November.
We hold them in, I believe in October, and then in November, the people who are elected to the board choose the officers.
Okay.
So the general is in October. This is very unusual because almost all the other
Mhm.
neighborhood associations do it in the spring.
Okay.
And we had, I don't know how it was, you know, it was like that when I got here. As Bart
Okay.
says. I have no idea. It would be possible to change it. We'd have to change our bylaws, and I don't know what would be involved in that. And I think that it's just the inertia has kept us doing it the way we
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
And I checked in with the board. I checked in with Southeast Uplift about changing our voting time. And you know, the response I got from them was it's actually a little bit nicer for them because it takes a little bit of the load off of them because they're already dealing with all the other elections around the middle of the year. And so having like 2, there's like us and another group that come in October, it like is fine for them. So like it makes us a little weird, but it hasn't like, it's not been a huge detriment.
Yeah. So the reason I ask is because Southeast Uplift said that they will send one of their staff liaisons to give like a 10-minute presentation once, whenever we're having our nominations and we're getting new board members. And they even have packets that they'll distribute to those new board members that kind of describe what Southeast Uplift offers to the neighborhood association, and kind of the responsibilities of their board officers and the opportunity for at-large positions. So I wanted to say if we think it would be valuable to have one of those liaisons show up during, that time, or maybe even a time outside of our elections to explain a little bit more about what all they have to offer and the details of that, we can ask a liaison to attend one of our meetings.
Candace, were you wanting to say something?
Yeah, part of the rationale of having ours in October was it was felt like when you do the changeover in May and June, then people are heading off for vacations and everything else, and it just was a chaotic time, and it felt better to start fresh in the fall. That's just, one advantage.
Makes sense to me.
I think that's great. I just wanted to try and see if we wanted to reach out to Southeast Uplift, or I'm happy to reach out to Nancy, the chair, just to understand if they can send someone out. Sounds like in October.
Yeah, I think they've offered that for at least the last year or so that I've been here. They have somebody come out to the meeting and talk for like 10-15 minutes about how voting works and how elections work. And
Okay, great.
we have some of the board member packets that are currently on the Southeast Uplift website in PDF form that people can download. But it'd be nice for them to like hand deliver or directly deliver them.
Yeah, I think, did you have a comment, Robert?
Well, I just wanted to, was there any discussion about neighborhoods going back to in-person meetings? Or, I mean, are any of them doing it already? Of course, you don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 months, another wave or something hit us.
Right.
It's one thing to have the representative come and Zoom in with us, but if we're going to have an in-person meeting, then that, we got to make sure if we're going to meet at that church, we got to re-engage with them, because it's been 2 years, since we've been over. Is that discussion at all at this point at Southeast Uplift, or everybody's just kind of waiting to see?
To date, the only discussion I recall from Southeast Uplift about that is that they will support us in whatever capacity they can, to have our meetings as a hybrid, all in person or all Zoom, whatever we choose, they're willing to support and kind of talk through that with us in terms of how we operate it, what we need to make it work. But I think it sounds like that's a conversation we should have as a neighborhood association.
Could I just add a little postscript? It seems like if they were going to come and give us a refresher on elections, September would be the right meeting to come to,
I
rather
think that
than
makes
at
sense.
the point we're actually doing the elections.
Yeah, I
right.
think you're right, Stephanie. So let's suggest September.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say come to the September meeting if you can, and it's coming up.
In that similar vein, there's actually a board member orientation Zoom meeting that's happening on June 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. where Southeast Uplift is doing something very similar. They're asking board members for neighborhood associations to attend just to get a little bit more acquainted with ideas for how you can organize your neighborhood association meetings, or there are a few other things that they were focusing on, like advocacy opportunities that you have for your neighborhood, and then kind of some common challenges and solutions that they've seen some neighborhood associations face. And maybe the conversation about going back to in-person could be one of those, but.
And what was the date of that again and time?
June 7th, 6 to 8 p.m. It's via
It's a
Zoom.
Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday. And I think they request an RSVP. So
Do you have a Zoom link that you could send over to me to include in the minutes?
I have.
Or if you want to paste it in the chat, I'll snag it out of the chat.
Yeah,
That's
I
an
have
example of where we're off kilter from everybody else. They have that in June because all the new board members from everybody else are now on board, and so they get this thing in June, and then like 4 months later we come along and we kind of missed it.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
should attend now, if it's the same, well, June 7th, yeah, Tuesday night, we could do that.
Yeah.
Okay. What I sent you, Suzanne, was the registration link. So, but I think they'll probably email you. It looks like.
Yeah,
they
thank you. I'll
emailed
put that in there.
Okay. The other comment is I noticed that on the city website, our neighborhood association is still showing old board members. And then that led me into a rabbit hole of figuring out that we typically as a neighborhood association would need to file with the state annually. Are any of you more experienced members familiar with that?
Yeah, there's two. There's one with the Department of Justice and one with the Department of State. I think there's two forms we have to do. There's a $50 fee.
Okay.
Between Patty and Sarah, that is generally taken care of. There were a few years where that got kind of forgotten and we were in arrears, but I think
Okay.
that we're okay right now. I
Okay.
think at least one of those is in June timeframe.
Mhm.
So that's a thing that, we're still getting snail mail at Southeast Uplift in the little cubby there.
Oh, that's
And
true.
so that needs to be, Patty has been checking that when she gets over there, but that's the type of thing that from the state will show up as a letter. Here's your form and here's what you've got to fill out. One of them has to do with, it's treasury mostly, and how much money we spent. We spend so little that we're kind of below the radar, but we still have to fill in the form.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure what the other form is. Sarah knows. Between Sarah and Patty, they have that all squared away, I think.
Okay. Yeah. It looks like something with the Department of Justice and Secretary of State. And one is just your annual incorporation and the other one's the charitable activities. Even if we didn't bring in any funding, they make you send it in. I bring this up because Southeast Uplift will reimburse for any of the fees that we have to pay.
Oh, that's good to know.
The DOJ is paid up. I'll have to check. I think we paid it in July of last year.
Okay.
I'll check. But the other one where, the other one you were talking about, where even if you don't have any fundraisers, I sent that into Payola about
Okay, great.
3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all on that one. I just didn't know if that was tied to what they list as our board members.
Is it possible for you to check with Southeast Uplift and see if they know who to contact about the city website being inaccurate?
Yes, I can ask them.
That'd be nice.
And then the last thing was just all of the grantees that were awarded grants by Southeast Uplift. They're having an in-person celebration on June 2nd. I believe that's next Thursday or Friday. And it'll be at their headquarters on Southeast Main Street. And I can send out an invite for that, but they're really just going to have each of the groups that won a grant or received a grant kind of present the work that they plan to use the money for. So if anybody's interested in understanding kind of the ways that Southeast Uplift supports or grants, provides grants, might be interesting to attend.
It'll be fun.
What was the date again?
June 2nd.
So North Star over on Gleason was one of the recipients of 2 small grants, and
Oh.
their grant that we're currently working on. One was to translate we did some research, what are the underserved language populations? And so the 3 top underserved languages in the metro area are Vietnamese, Russian, and Spanish. And so we submit one to translate a lot of our documents and materials into those languages, which we were able to save some money because Clubhouse is an international program. And so before all the events in Russia happened, we were able to get some of the documents translated by the Clubhouse there in Russia. And so the first part was getting a lot of the documents and intake materials translated to those languages. And then we will be having we're trying to partner with different community organizations that would refer individuals with mental health issues that are of those language groups to North Star. And we're going to have 3 separate events, one for each language, to reach out to those communities.
Great. That's great news. Yeah, and Catherine, Dave, if you're not familiar, North Star is the North Star Clubhouse. It's, yeah, like Candace said, part of a larger organization, but they, when I went to visit, they're kind of a regular, sort of a day center, lunch provided, support for people who, as far as I know, Robert, you might know, it was like, seems like folks who had some kind of mental health disability, or they had some kind
Candace can tell you.
yeah.
Yeah, please don't call it a day center.
Oh, yes, of course.
But yeah, it's a program clubhouses are run by the members and staff. There's no hierarchy. And there's no, you have to have a mental health diagnosis to be accepted into the program. But once that's done, there's no reference really to your diagnosis. It's not a clinical program. Members recover by participating in the work and running the organization. So they work side by side with staff, and they have an employment program that helps get people employed who are interested in that. They have a nutrition and wellness program that's actually been kind of a model now for a lot of the other countries, clubhouses around the country, because we had one of our prior directors had a nutrition background and really focused on that. So the members participate in creating the lunch every day, and it's a healthy lunch where, earlier on it used to be just, garbage food really. But anyway, yeah, there's a real emphasis on that, and members learn how to shop, and they learn how to cook, and they learn how to do a lot of office skills. So, and it's primarily a support system that kind of fills the gap between clinical and then just being put out in the community with no support. So
yeah.
Candace, I'm sorry, CJ, I didn't mean to.
Oh no, Lisa, you say.
How many clubhouses are there in the Portland Beaverton area? Because I know my brother actually used one of the facilities over on the west side, and it was really helpful.
Is it Lukedorf, or they've changed their name now to New Narrative?
I really don't know. Yeah.
An actual clubhouse in the Portland Metro. We're the only one, and we were the first one in Oregon. But in the recent years now, there's one in Corvallis. There's about 5 or 6 of them now with a coalition. They're much more common on the East Coast because they've been going there since, I think it was in the 40s that they started.
Oh, wow. Very cool. Well, I know my dad and I just found some information, and this has been several years ago, and really didn't know anything about it. And my brother, we finally got him to go there, and they were really, really helpful. So, but that was the west side. So, and of course, then we found
it's like with anything else, it's the funding is always the problem, and really Portland could use several of them around town. So I'm sorry to keep, I'm working on something else over here. Sorry,
Candace.
We're thankful for your input, Candace. Thank you.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to visit, and they gave me lunch, and I was able to kind of absorb, and yeah, very, very wonderful. Just like Candace said, horizontal leadership, no hierarchy. And there was a very good community and like family vibe. Very helpful. I wanted to check in. Kim just went off camera to see if there's anything else Doesn't sound like there was anything else for the Southeast Uplift Board meeting update.
That's all I have. Sorry, I was eating, sorry.
Oh, no, thank you. Keep eating. I'm gonna eat after this. And since we didn't have any particular business planned, we're able to kind of talk at length about things. Robert.
Well, I was just, if you're going to go on to new business, I didn't see it elsewhere on here, but the message from Mount Tabor and the cleanup is something that we can at least introduce here. I got a copy. I think Ross actually was the main addressee from Paul Leisner in Mount Tabor. And some of you are familiar with this, but in the past, we had a very successful partnership with Mount Tabor doing a neighborhood cleanup. And these had gone on for years and years, and we would make $3,000, $4,000 from one of these things. And then the pandemic and other things at City Hall that we don't need to go into kind of killed off that program. But apparently it may be back in some form. And the Mount Tabor was basically asking, are we interested in potentially partnering with them? And yes, of course we are. So it's not something we need to like take a vote on or anything, but I guess I would hope that we can communicate with them and say yes. It would probably be, it may not even be until like next year. I don't know. It's not going to happen right away. One principal problem is we used to do it at Mount Tabor Middle School, and then we lost that site. Now, it's been a couple of years, maybe we get it back, but we just have to talk to them or with Mount Tabor, of course. That's the main problem, finding a site. And then the money, the Metro had paid the tipping fees for the dumpsters in the past. And that's why we were able to make a lot of money. We charge people, $5, $10, whatever they're bringing. And so we paid some fees, but we did pretty well on that. So I have no idea what the financial setup would be for some future cleanup. Patty might have an idea, but it's certainly something worth doing. Even if we didn't make a lot of money, it's a community event. It's fun. So yeah, Patty.
Well, I just read my note from Paul, and he says that Metro is going to be supporting this. So that answers one of your questions. He
Yeah,
also
well,
said that he didn't think it would happen before fall or maybe spring, because it does, as you well know, take a lot of organization. So
anyway, I
that's
just
what
wanted to
I've
bring
got.
that into new business. So I'll mute myself now.
I think
That'd
Kim,
be good to know too, so that we can budget potentially some marketing funds for that to help let the neighborhood know and everything. So it'd be good to know that ahead of time, especially if it's fall, because that would need to go into some budgeting for us that we just need to approve.
So I guess maybe Ross was the recipient of this note, I guess, or he responded to Paul. I'm not going to speak on his behalf. I'm not sure I guess he's listening to this, but somebody should be the designated point of contact with Mount Tabor. And, he would be a good one, but I won't suggest we put him in that position without his say so. But we should have somebody who can communicate with Paul. Paul used to work for the city. He's retired now, but he knows this whole system very, very well. So the sooner we can get involved with him, the better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this is Ross.
Oh yeah, what do you think, Ross?
I'd be happy to be the liaison. And definitely it sounds like a team effort to get everything coordinated, but at least with the initial coordination, and I can handle that and bring information to the next meeting or a subsequent one.
Thank you, Ross. Yeah, if you sounds like you already are in contact with Paul, you can probably let them know that we're all on board and would love to be involved how we can. And yeah, seconding what Suzanne said about we'll help with getting the word out for sure. And why not? Sounds great. Thanks, Robert. Anybody else have any kind of new business on their mind they wanted to bring before I start kind of?
I'm just wondering if Kim was finished.
Oh yeah.
Kim, are you finished? She was trying to say something.
Oh.
I think she was finished.
I think Kim was finished, yeah.
Yeah, I was just chewing, sorry.
She's not
Hopefully
finished
not
eating.
my mouth too.
Not
either.
finished eating, yeah, no, keep eating. Let's see, so I mean, just to follow up on one or two things I wrote down, so Patty, you and or Sarah are still checking the mail on a fairly regular basis? Okay. Just want to make sure that that is still
Yes,
happening.
yeah, I picked it up about 2 weeks ago and there was really nothing of any significance in there, so.
Okay, and then Kim, you are following up with the, oh, your mouth is full, but you're following up on the city website, like how it gets updated and stuff like that. Okay, let's see. The only thing that I had in my mind was just, have we ever done like a store spotlight or like a local store? Like, have we done something like that before? I'm not really sure of like what is around. I just, I got that little.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Well, I was thinking like, as something either for the newsletter, just like a spotlight on a local business in our neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yes, the answer is yes. Back when we had an actual newspaper, that was
Right.
done fairly frequently, but it would be totally appropriate for the newsletter, any kind of business. Somebody wants to go and interview the proprietor or whatever and talk about the business. And I'm sure that that would be a welcome submission to the
Yeah,
newsletter.
I was thinking that just about things that could be done on a fairly regular basis that are, you know, depending on who wanted to take on the task, could be fairly, you know, low time commitment. It would just require like, you know, finding people who want to talk to us and putting a nice picture of their business and when they're open and what they're about.
Yeah, I mean, I would just suggest that we kind of pick a business that we would like to do. Like there's a Korean massage parlor now. They're on. We probably don't want them in our newsletter. So
Well,
let's not make it open to just anybody who wants to have a.
Oh
board
my
meeting.
gosh.
How about
You're
the pot shop?
And the pot
I know, well,
shop, yeah.
we'll send a representative to each of these locations to.
Okay,
How about just
I-
focus on food? You could do Seven
food.
Virtues and Ollie's Pizza, something.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
food,
or like
just
that.
food.
Yeah,
Food is
or
good.
carts.
I would love to do something for the J&T Market. Con and Casey, who they're just this darling couple that bought the store a couple years ago, and they have Rice and Spice next door.
Mhm.
I bet they have an amazing story. They're lovely, and now they've opened the Mexican restaurant. I mean, basically packed all the
that's a good
time.
one.
So now they have this
Okay.
like taqueria inside the store, and
Go
yeah,
ahead, Lisa. Go
Huh?
ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead. You do it.
do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
at least if you are
Hundred
inspired,
jewels.
if you know the people who,
Yeah.
I do. I see them every day. I stop by there every day. So
Then
Yeah.
I
write
would love to
something-
do that. I would love to
something
do
up
that.
and-
So I'll see if they would like to come in.
yeah, see if they're interested.
They're
and
quiet.
we could-
They're very quiet people. I don't know how much
You
they
just need it. You
when
need
I-
just somebody, you know, like a reporter go in there and talk to them and just ask them
Yeah.
about their business and
Okay.
it doesn't have to be anything. It's not going to be anything real long just because.
Oh, right.
Just a few
Well,
paragraphs.
I would love to do that. I'll talk to them about it. Okay. great.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Lisa, submit that to Jules so she can have that for her newsletter information.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
That would be the way to do it.
Okay. I'll do that.
And Suzanne?
CJ, I have to step off. I just had a family call I need to take care of.
Oh, yes.
Would someone mind just taking the last bit of minutes here and then just to email with me and we'll merge them together?
Sure, thank you.
I
Any-
think we're done. Let's just quit.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of it is just in the minutes, you can say, and then there were announcements.
Okay, and then there were announcements. Okay.
Because I think at this point, yeah, you know, we don't have to take up, usually it doesn't go past 8, but it's a fairly short meeting today. It's time to have dinner for me.
Okay. If anything brilliant comes up that we need to put in here, just make sure to add it
I
in,
will
okay?
reply, yeah. If there's anything
Okay.
that comes up in the next, yeah, you go take care of your stuff. Thank you, Suzanne.
Okay, super. Thank you. Bye.
Right.
Yes, but that was the only thing that I had. I just wanted, you know, now that the pandemic, well, again, like Robert said, the pandemic is up and down and back and forth, but you know, it's been around. We can think about little things that we can actually do, and like bringing attention to the things in our neighborhood is something we can do. So Patty?
I would like to hear some more about our new neighbors, Catherine and
Oh, sure.
Great.
where you came from, all this stuff. What you'd like to see our neighborhood do.
We're from a small town in Northern California. We are climate refugees. We have to leave because of fire danger.
Mm.
So we visited Portland 5 years ago and we fell in love with it. And we can't believe we are actually returning and buying a house, but we're so excited. We can't believe it.
Yeah, we're in what city in California?
We are in Healdsburg. I don't know if you know that area. It's north of San Francisco Bay Area.
You said Healdsburg?
Yeah, it's a small little town north of the Bay
Oh,
Area.
Healdsburg.
Healdsburg. Yeah.
My daughter-in-law lives there. We know the fire. She's evacuated so many times, so we
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
Well,
Yes.
we're tired of it. So.
Yeah, it got really old fast.
And the
So,
guitar school, the guitar school.
yeah, I mean, from our,
all our stuff is in storage and we can't live that way.
we can't.
Yeah.
When you look out your window and you see fires north and south burning, it's pretty scary.
But we're looking forward to all of the art scene in Portland, the wine. We're part of the wine world.
Food?
Yeah, languages, everything.
Yeah,
Sure.
we're very excited.
We're looking forward to working in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we are.
You bought a super cute house. We're all
Oh.
familiar with that. And
Oh,
actually our,
thank you. She's a beauty. She
your,
is.
your neighbors, Lars and Kim are board members, actually.
Oh,
Oh.
great.
They're in the other Victorian house, the one just east of you.
Did
All
Kim
right,
do
well, we'll look
the
forward to meeting them
Wonderful.
then. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Did Kim do the big time Halloween decorations this last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, they always do a lot of decorating.
Sounds
Yeah, so
good.
you-
We're
Yeah,
there.
you have that to look forward to. I think
We're there.
We like that kind of stuff, so.
Okay, good.
And Kim is running for city council right now. So
Oh,
she and
wonderful.
Lars are not here because I'm sure, as
Oh,
CJ
yeah.
said earlier, they're waiting for results. So
I know it should start rolling in the next half hour. Who knows when?
yeah, what do we got? Voting ends at 8. So I don't know.
That does bring up something, though. I'm just looking at the community announcements. Normally, she is the one who puts together the blurb for the Southeast Examiner.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, because of the timing of our meeting, it's like always the next day that they need it. Since we didn't have a speaker and it's just been kind of normal business, I don't think anybody would miss our submission unless, somebody wants to do it. But I'm not volunteering. I'm just saying that she's the one who normally does it. So if somebody else doesn't step up to the plate, it's not going to happen.
Sure. Well, let me just, if we're done with official business, I can stop the recording just so we can have more like casual conversation.
Well, I'm just going through your list here of community announcements.
Oh, yes. Let's see what I'll finish up the last
That
three.
was the second one.
Ballots are due, deadline for South Examiner. Yeah, I don't think we need to do something for this month. We had a charter commission speaker either last month or the month before. I think it was the month before. There is a public hearing Sunday, the 22nd, which is this Sunday in person and on Stark Street. So Catherine and Dave, you came at an interesting time. We're kind of revisiting the city charter and how we do elections and how we do council. Like we're talking about going back to a different system with a lot more people on the council. It's like the whole thing. If you're interested, they're having an in-person meeting about it on Sunday. It's in the announcements there.
CJ, okay. I was going to say,
yeah.
where is it?
Oh, let me copy it right. Let's copy
Okay.
it in the minutes right now. I'll put it in the chat. Zoop, zoop, zoop. And then, of course, there was a new hair salon. That's what I got the idea about this the store spotlight. I got some email that was like, hey, we're opening a new hair salon out of one of the homes here. I'm like, that's fun. I'll share that with everyone. Like if I was a neighbor, I'd shout them out. Oh, Candace.
I was just gonna suggest, and I'm sorry, I'm up to here with North Star stuff, so I can't volunteer, but maybe just a brief thing for the Southeast Uplift with like
Southeast Examiner.
Southeast Examiner, about the next meeting date and your website link or something, so that people, and then, what the next meeting date is, just so that it gets more out there. Although I'm not sure that they're delivering in our neighborhood anymore. I think they dropped off a lot of
No,
the.
I still get it. Well, I
At
think,
your door, do you have, or do you
yeah,
have to?
no, I think so.
Okay,
I
well, we don't
appreciate
get it over here. We used to, and I know that they haven't ever delivered over in the pocket, so. But still, it's, just want to keep it in front of people wherever you can.
Well, the other thing is that we can put out a congratulations to North Star for getting these grants and offer some community pride in a little short
Good.
paragraph.
Okay,
Because I don't think we've gotten grants in North Tabor before, because it varies what their criteria are for those grants. So yeah, let's give a shout out to North Tabor. Of course,
Sure.
I'm not volunteering to write this up, but
Nobody wants to actually do
I know,
it.
is anyone volunteering to write a 2 or 3 sentence submission that says, congrats to North Star on their grants to, and then also our next meeting is at.
yeah, we were actually thinking of doing that ourselves, but not until maybe another month when we've got it more identified of exactly what we're doing. So tied down a few more things.
Do we have a program or a speaker for next month? I mean, that would be the thing to put in there. And we sort of had it projected ahead, but at this point, I don't know.
I don't think we had one. I think it'll be, again, a fairly, unless somebody steps up in the next couple of weeks and asks to be at the June meeting, probably not. Right now, it's open space. So we got that like 7 to 7:30 or 6:30 to 7 window available for speakers.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go ahead and write up 3 sentences.
Thank you, Robert.
So, I know I said I wouldn't do it, but I want the meeting to adjourn as soon as possible here, so. I will-
Well, Robert, you've done it. That's
Yeah.
the quickest way to adjourn the meeting.
No,
Thank you, Robert.
We can keep talking, but I'll. okay,
Yeah,
I'll
let's
submit.
go have dinner
Yeah,
if we've
let's go.
covered everything.
Yeah, the
Okay.
only other thing is Gleason, you gotta drive slower now, it looks like. Gotta drive slower on Gleason, 25 miles per hour as opposed to whatever it was before, 30 or 35.
30, I think.
I'll let everybody know that. So drive.
So stupid. So
So be careful, drive slow, don't be mindful.
the problem is all they're doing is causing road rage and directing people off to side streets to blow ass. And I don't think they have a big picture. They have a very small picture of the big picture. And
Not to mention not enforcing anything. So why
well,
should
right.
anybody follow
And
any of
so
the
we
rules?
have
that
no
they place?
traffic police. So,
Yeah.
but the Vision Zero has been a failure, a colossal failure from the get. And keep promoting it and keep doing all this stuff. And it's like, you are what is making people angry and driving like crazy people. Don't understand. I mean, anymore, I leave at least a half an hour before I need to be, a half hour before the half hour I need to be there.
Hold that thought, Lisa, not to interrupt you, but.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
We can officially adjourn, and then people who would like to rightfully gripe about the Vision Zero, we can stay on and do it officially or unofficially. All right.
I move to adjourn.
Okay, move to adjourn. We've got
Second.
some yeses. We got some some hands are up. I will say this is adjourned. I'm going to stop recording.